Who is the most powerful person in American history? Was it King George III, the man who ruled over the original 13 colonies? Perhaps it was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who, in a defiant turn against George Washington, served 4 terms instead of 2. It may not be who you think. In fact, the most powerful person in American history never even ran for any kind of political office. No, this man stood among the titans of industry. This absolute powerhouse goes by J.P. Morgan. In terms of historical, political, and financial influence, J.P. Morgan is nearly unparalleled, although he only receives recognition in the form of his name going before the Chase Bank. However, I think it's high time we shine a light on J.P. Morgan's influence and how much he financially advanced the country. Also, I've been researching J.P. Morgan for multiple weeks, taken from multiple different sources. I'm confident that thanks to my research and my general interest in obscure and underrated historical figures, that my points will be thorough and precise. Today, I'll be taking you on a trip through the childhood, financial endeavors, and legacy of John Pierpont Morgan. J.P. Morgan came from a long, long line of financiers. Looking back all the way to his 4th great-grandfather, it's very clear to see that J.P. Morgan had the perfect bloodline to produce the perfect financier. His 4th great-grandfather, James Pierpont, founded Yale University. His grandfather, Joseph Pierpont, founded an insurance company, and his father, Junius Pierpont, had ties to a London banking firm. He received an education from an early age from his father on how to manage money and how to run a business. And this information would be later expanded upon in the Boston High School. When he graduated in 1854, he moved to Germany to attend the Göttingen University. And when he graduated from there, he came back to New York to test his new abilities. Unfortunately, these new abilities would focus themselves primarily on very profitable things. He got his start by partnering up with Anthony Drexel to form J.P. Morgan & Co., a banking firm that did many things that were not banking. For example, J.P. Morgan & Co., not J.P. Morgan himself, invested in railroad stocks. And upon seeing the self-destructive nature of the railroad industry during and after the financial panic of 1893, he took it upon himself to reorganize the railroad companies, consequently bringing them out of the mine. J.P. Morgan & Co. was repaid handsomely through their stocks afterwards. Later, he merged the steel companies to form U.S. Steel, which produces 97% of steel in the U.S. today. Now, while he did achieve everything he set out to do, there was still this one driving task, this one perpetual quest that eluded him, that he always tried to reach, that kept him going. The idea of leaving a legacy fit for a titan of the industry by helping people. For instance, let's start with one of Morgan's less famous achievements, single-handedly leading the charge to revert a depression in the stock market crash of 1907. Now, by this point, J.P. Morgan was semi-retired and on vacation, but he still found the heart to decide to come to New York and work with several more banking firms, as well as the U.S. federal government, to simply throw enough money at the economy to force it to stay fluid. Somehow this ended up working, and Morgan received a large amount of praise for his deed. However, he also received a large amount of blame for his deed, since he merged companies, thereby creating monopolies that caused the crash in the first place. However, his critics still can't deny that J.P. Morgan was instrumental in reverting the Depression. Today, I've taken you through a trip between the life and legacy of J.P. Morgan. The next time you take a look at the Chase Bank, remember what J.P. Morgan did to financially advance the